Welcome back to your idiot Leaguemates. All right, week 9 is here. We got some big matchups as always. Huge matchups every single week. Along me, I got Nick. I got J-Mo.
I just hate this league so much, bro.
Dude, it actually consumes my life.
Agreed. I wish I wasn't 3
I mean, I think it's turned into everything we wanted. Like, we were all, like, everyone is all
I
in.
actually just so wish there wasn't a last place punishment. That just, like, weighs on my mind all day and night about everything.
I just don't think.
We won't go into it.
Like, I just don't think you have a shot, but, you know.
Right, but at the same time, it's the only thing I'm focused on. Yeah. Like, I'm not going to make the playoffs, so, like, what else am I going to think about?
Road to playoffs starts here.
I mean, if you're not Joe. You're, like, Joe.
Agree. Yeah, I know, but whatever. Continue. Fuck you guys.
No better place to start than the matchup between you two.
Mm-hmm.
Nick, 3 wins. J-Mo, 5 wins.
This is big.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty even matchup here going into it.
No Alvin.
T's not going to play.
Yeah, so I guess we should address that. That was a pretty big trade that happened last night in the office. You gave up Alvin Kamara to me for Nico Collins.
I feel like I did the opposite of you. Like, I made a trade to lose this week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just
very
straight,
not me.
Just a straight swap.
Yeah.
You guys
One
like said it
one.
jokingly, and then like 3 minutes later, the email came through that it was done.
Well, you said it as if like you thought there was no shot I would take that.
I thought there was a real chance. I mean, I think it was a very even trade. Like,
I think so too. I mean, obviously I sent you guys the comments. I'm getting fucking hammered online.
Yeah.
But
it really just depends what platform you look at. Like, if you look at Instagram, they'll be like, nah, it sucked. You look at YouTube, some of them, they'll be like, it was a fair trade.
I feel like the perception people also don't realize he is RB2. Like, I think everyone thinks Kamara's good, but I don't think they realize he's putting up like 18 a game at least.
yeah, I know a lot of it was buoyed by, like the 45-point game or whatever he had against the Panthers
still,
in week
like,
1, but
5 receptions is a lock, which
Yeah.
is like a nice floor.
and I think Derek Carr coming back is like just an underrated
It's gonna unlock the Saints.
I guess so. I mean, dude, I'm not trying to hype up Derek Carr like that, but I mean, I feel like that's all he does is check it down to Alvin Kamara.
Yeah, it's only going to be Kamara and Olave at this point.
Yeah. So, I mean,
and you get the Panthers this
Right.
week. So I was like low-key trying to egg the trade on just because I'm playing J-Mo this week, and I'm like looking at his matchup. I'm like, Kamara against Carolina is like an auto win pretty much. As soon as you get that lineup and I don't have to see Nico this week, that made me feel like I have a fighting chance in this matchup. Prior to that, I didn't feel good at all about this matchup.
and yeah, that's the other thing. Like, I'm 3 games above you. I wouldn't count you out or dead, but like my immediate opponent
You're 3 games above him?
No, above you.
Oh.
I'm only 1 game above J-Mo.
Yeah.
Like, it obviously doesn't help that, like, I wish you weren't in our division, right? But, like, I'm just saying that part of the trade is J-Mo losing is just as good as me winning.
Oh, okay. I got you.
You know?
I didn't pick up what you were putting down there for a sec.
Yeah. But being a game ahead of J-Mo, it's like I'm just trying to stay 1 step ahead, so.
yeah, it's not even like taking out Kamara, like replacing him with Worthy. That's
It would be poetic if Worthy put me in the dirt, though.
Wasn't even going to play
Yeah.
Worthy, and then just by necessity has to, and he goes for 2 long tugs or something.
Yeah.
Monday night, up by
That's
20.
tough.
That's
Monday night Xavier.
If I have a Monday night loss again, I'm gonna actually kill myself.
Well, do you guys have any start-sit conundrums?
I think T didn't practice again today, so he's gonna be fucking out again. I have Pickens on a bye.
I'm thinking about Drake over Geno if DK's out.
Drake over Geno. Who's Geno playing?
Geno's playing the Rams, dude. I don't know. Feels like Seahawks-Rams going to be a high-scoring game.
Could be. The Rams D has been better as of late. Like May's matchup is a little bit tough at Tennessee too, but I think it's a valid to start though.
I probably won't pull the trigger, but like just creating some spark. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I mean, I think Drake May, as long as he's healthy and playing, has a ton of rushing upside, so it's enticing.
Well, who would you rather see in my lineup? Elijah Moore, Zach Moss, or Tyler Algier? Because that's who I'm gonna have to fucking get in there.
I mean, I don't like Zach. I would just probably always want to play him, but that's when he would probably burn me.
The matchup's good against Vegas, but like I have no confidence he'll go more than like 5 for 20. He's fucking actually.
I mean, I think
curious.
Zach Moss has best chance of scoring a touchdown.
Yeah, probably.
I'm curious about the Jets game tonight because before the Adams trade, I'd feel like, there's no shot Rodgers can do so well without Wilson being a part of it. But now,
Oh yeah, that's true. We
That's
have
a reality.
Rodgers. Those are the only 2 we have tonight, right? Rodgers and Wilson.
yeah,
That would, yeah.
like I think Adams is so due.
He is really due, but Wilson's just looked so much better since he's come over.
All right, so who you guys picking between your matchups?
If
Is Jordan Love playing?
There were positive signs
he
today.
practiced today,
Jaden's been a little cold. I think all my wide receivers definitely got cold, like in their bag for sure.
Yeah.
For me, T. Higgins swings this game. If he plays, I might lean me. If he doesn't, then I don't. I don't see a world where I have to have like Leggett, Addison, and like Zach Moss in my lineup and pull out a win.
I would still take Zach Moss from you.
Yeah, you have nothing. The problem with the trade is like I don't think it's unfair, like Moss for Watson or whatever. But if we're talking about dudes that are sitting on my bench, I would much rather just have the running back because in a week's notice, the running back could be super relevant. Like if Chase Brown gets hurt, Zach Moss becomes a guy.
C-Walk could be relevant.
You could take out everyone on their receiver core dead, sniped on the middle of the field, and I wouldn't feel good about putting C-Watt in my lineup.
That's just wrong.
That's fine. You could play him then.
Whatever. I will.
At this point, stashing running backs like pays tenfold over wide receivers.
Yeah.
Nah, you're right.
I was uncomfortable giving up Kamara because I liked having 3 starters. But
I am a little surprised that you were okay with the depth that you have.
The only reason I did is because they both already had their buys, and I have Tajay in case anything happened to Tony. But again, it was for the wide receiver one.
Yeah,
so it was,
sure.
My matchups are really good on paper. Actually, this kind of feels my quarterback matchups aren't great, but everyone in between I feel like has great matchups. Like I should play well.
And you got Flacco in there now. Huge dub.
See, Flacco, like
I don't like against the Vikings. He might get killed.
Right. Like I started him 1 week. It was like at Tennessee, he got 11 points. Now he's at Minnesota. He's going to get 11 points. Like he's not going to play well unless the matchup's like paper.
I guess so. I just feel like
I'd rather have A-Rich out there.
Really.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna side with you here, assuming that T. Higgins is healthy. Also, just because I need it.
I'm not sure
why
you're assuming that.
Is Pollard fine? I saw him miss Wednesday.
I think he's fine. I haven't heard anything on him. Tajay will be back, though. You should probably start Tajay over Pollard.
Might want to stack those Tennessee running backs. All right, let's move on to another matchup here. We got Android losers Nate versus the Motley crew and Andrew.
Nate all of a sudden is like projecting as one of the higher teams in the league.
I mean, Pittman having Flack, his running backs, like Rashad, no matter what's going to have a role, no matter how much we don't like him. And Ingram.
His receivers, it's kind of funny. This is like the epitome of fantasy where 1 week it's awful, and then all of a sudden the next week, Pittman with Flacco, Sutton with Bo Nix looks good, Ingram with all the Jacksonville wide receiver injuries looks like amazing.
I mean, when it comes to his wide receivers, I kind of only like Pittman.
Yeah, no, I still don't like him at all, but they feel better than last week.
Sure, yeah.
That Goff trade is like such a nice staple for him.
Yeah, that was
saving his season.
Not my best work.
That dude had Anthony Richardson and didn't even put a single bid on Flacco.
I wish he
worked
did.
out. It worked out.
I mean, there's no way I trade for Richardson if I don't have Flacco, so I wish at that point now someone else had Flacco, but yeah. Jacobs has actually been great, honestly, since I've got him, but still, like
rest of the season, you'd rather have Hall over Jacobs?
For sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Andrew kind of decimated his wide receiver core, at least for this week, which obviously, like, I'm not a fan of. I guess it kind of helps that you're playing Nate, who normally is one of the worst teams, but, like, I mean,
it's not great.
People were really roasting Joe for that trade. I don't know, dude. And I'm probably just looking at it too much from this 1 week. I don't like it.
I don't know. I like Andrew's side a lot.
I'm excited to see TJ in his debut.
You got Debo and Jameson, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he needed wide receiver help. I feel like Debo and Puka together and then Jameson as your wide receiver 3 is not bad relative to where he was at. He gave Swift, who has a really tough playoff schedule, so he already has a running back depth. I don't know. I thought that was good for Andrew.
I mean, I think Debo and Swift are on pretty similar levels, just different positions, no? Like, do you value Debo that much more than?
Dude, I just
Swift?
don't trust the Chicago offense at all. I know they had a horrible game and then Swift ended up like breaking away that big play, so it looks a lot better. I don't know. I guess I'm still not like completely sold that Swift's going to be anything more than like an RB2 rest of season.
I guess if you were to rank Debo and Swift amongst the wide receivers and running backs, are both of them not like wide receiver 15, RB 15, something similar like that? Like, is that too generous to Swift?
No, I think that's probably right, but I almost feel like once you get to RB 15, between like
the
RB 15 to RB 30 are like the same, whereas
right.
like the wide receiver like 14 feels exponentially better than like the wide receiver 30.
I see what
in a
you're
way,
saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Also, just like Andrew needed wide receiver help.
Yeah. Again, I'm just not a fan of like throwing away the current week because you never really know what's going to happen, and I don't know. This just seems like a game that you could have kind of secured the dub against a weaker team, and now you're making it a very close matchup.
Who did
He's
he move?
also
Swift and who?
Looking at his division, though, like he's still got a good shot at winning this, and even if he doesn't, like he's got a good shot at still making the playoffs.
No, that's fair. Like Tyler Lockett, I get is not really anything.
Tyler Lockett's not. Yeah, Swift having in the lineup obviously would be nice,
But like no DK, yeah.
I would have liked Joe to
over.
kept Jameson, just like a Swift Debo.
Swift
Even that
for
I
Debo
don't
probably would have
like,
been enough.
but I feel like he somehow lost the kick in.
Agreed.
Right.
I also think Joe made the trade though for hopefully a win this week because
Yeah.
him not having Debo would have killed him.
Right. And I think Debo's just one of those guys that, like, if you ever rostered Debo before, it's one of the most annoying things ever. Like,
But his numbers without fucking Ayuk are insane. He also didn't he have like a 60-yard touchdown call back last game?
yeah,
Like I feel like he's legitimately a top 10 dude going forward.
really,
Yeah.
man. I don't know.
I trust
Probably,
Debo
like,
a lot more than Swift is the way I'd look at it. Like you said, the kick in of JMO over Lockett for me is a no-brainer.
I guess I'm the low man on
Is
on
the
Debo.
gun thing real with Williams?
BDG says it's fucking real, JMO.
Heard it from these mouths. Never lied before.
All right,
I'm gonna take Nate to win this one.
I am too.
Just because, like, I said I respect an Alex Pierce play, and I always will, but it's just Alec Pierce and I guess like the mix of him and some other guys.
Andrew
on
having to
his team that I'm
start
just
two
not a
tight
fan of.
ends.
Yeah,
Like,
one coming off an
Alex
ACL
Pierce.
tear. Yeah, no, definitely Nate. Nate's actually, I mean, they're both really top heavy. Like both sides, like 1 through 3, 1 through 4, look great.
You guys fans of Khalil Shakir? In my mind, he's still like
He just
such
kicked
a hole.
my fucking
Even though
ass.
I don't know, even though they're bad, between the flex and wide receiver 3, I'm taking Sutton, Evan, and Rashad
Easily.
all day over
Yeah,
the other 3.
for sure. I mean, the projections also say that too.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
then like
Shakir's probably a little hit or miss, but like he also has. I mean, he doesn't look to me. He's not like Tyler Lockett. Like he just put 20 on me, and I feel like he's been pretty consistently at like 6 or 7 catches a game. He's not loud. He doesn't make like big plays, but he's been really solid this year.
I guess so. I
That
think
wide
it,
receiver room
He's like
kind of
what people
nice.
wanted JSN to be.
yeah.
To be honest.
I kind of just feel like eventually Amari Cooper's gonna be worked in more.
Yeah.
Maybe that's wrong, but like it kind of feels like to me it's like Amari, Coleman, Kincaid. and
It's hard to
Khalil
feel
Shakir.
good. It's almost like
Yeah.
a Green Bay receiver with like less volume in the offense for sure, but Shakir's been
kinda
solid.
Nice too.
Yeah,
Yeah, Keon's cool.
Keon's starting to look good.
Go Nate.
I'll take Nate for show.
Yeah. All right, moving on to another matchup. We got Casey versus Judge Sexual Pattern Stain.
Good game.
Yeah, two loaded squads
we need
going
the
at
judge
it.
bad.
We need the judge to bring the hammer down on him, dude. Find this man guilty.
Casey and Adam are so close to a trade. They were like had a done deal, and then
Oh, I should have done that too. I was talking to Adam about it
The
because he was,
A-chain?
dude. He was talking about McCaffrey
oh yeah, that's right. McCaffrey, not H.N.
because he was asking me what I thought about McCaffrey's like outlook for the rest of the season and whatnot. And originally, when I was talking a potential trade with him, I was like, yeah, you should do it. And I thought he was sending Achan. And then
I said to do it with McCaffrey.
you like Achan more than McCaffrey?
I like both of the trades for him. I think he was getting
regardless of
he was getting 4 pieces. He was getting Demont, Jameis, Cedric Tillman, D-Hop.
Andy, yeah, Adam. If he could give away CMC, who's
Brother,
a
he had this offered to him, and then he's like, "Would you like Stafford or Jameis more?" I'm like, "I like Stafford more, but like I would take the trade regardless of his Winston." And then I don't know what he's doing. I'll actually read the text out loud that he sent me. I like woke up this morning and he was like,
yeah, no, he was the trade got held up because there was potential it could be Stafford instead of Winston.
that was never on the table though. Casey never agreed to that.
Yeah, but Adam was going back and forth because I think Adam, he asked me the same thing. I think he went around the league and was like, who do you prefer? And I think at least my response, and I think you guys might have responded similar, it was like Stafford is a lot better than Winston.
Agreed, but I would take both sides. The way
Sure.
that Adam's team is made up right
Even
now.
with Winston in
he's
the
been-
deal.
he's-
getting that much out of CMC.
Bro, he's 4-4, and he hasn't even used CMC yet. So
Yeah.
now he's just getting an injection of 4 players. This is what he
I
said
would
to me.
argue like CMC for Monty just because Adam needs
Bro,
players.
I think this is the worst trade that Casey could possibly make. Like his team is really good right now because he has a ton of depth. If he gets rid of all that depth and then like 1 or 2 injuries don't go his way,
Yeah.
his team could like
So,
drop quickly. I think this is a
what-
really risky trade. for
What
him.
might have held things up is Adam asked me what I thought about CMC. And I was like, there's probably like an 85% chance he's back after the bye. And I said, when he's back, it's 100% CMC. Like it's CMC that we've all known.
Yeah.
Like I don't think like there's no working in Mason. Like there's no pitch count or whatever you want to call it. And so I think maybe that possibly gave him cold feet.
I kind of said the same thing. This is what he said. I can't actually take a D-Hop without cutting like Michael Wilson right now because C-Mac is on my IR. So I countered with that same trade, but I used Stafford instead of Jameis. And he's saying Stafford is too much. I feel like it's a reasonable ask and Casey is being Casey. I'm like, Adam, it's you being you, brother.
Yeah.
Like you guys had a good trade in the offer and then
Like,
you just
Adam
changed it.
has to go back.
Agreed. Like, that trade, I think, is a layup for him. Him saying that he can't do it because he has to drop Michael Wilson in order to take on D-Hop is, like, the most insane thing I've ever heard.
Yeah. No, I agree.
He's getting, like, cold feet about something.
And if he likes Wilson that much, like, do the trade without D-Hop.
No one likes Wilson. Like, there's no way that that's what's holding up a trade with, like, C-Mac involved and shit like that.
Rest of the season, though, would you take Achane over CMC?
I probably would, just because.
Yeah. Achane looks fucking amazing, honestly. And obviously
He's
we're getting
so
him,
many receptions when Tua plays.
We're getting him most likely for, like, 3 extra games that were not for C-Mac. So
Because I feel like for Adam, I mean, maybe I don't actually know this, but I feel like he was going to do it for Achane, and then Casey countered with CMC, and then that's like another stopping point.
To me, like,
You think they're pretty even level? Like,
I think they're even, and, like, I think C-Mac carries more risk. So,
sure.
and the fact that you're doing it, like, you don't have to worry about losing Achane right now and losing a hole in your lineup right now. You're giving away a dude that you're not going to use for another 2 weeks anyways. So I would have given him up, and then Casey obviously loses a lot of depth. He has a nice piece on the roster. But let's say something happens with C-Mac, and, like, suffers a setback, gets hurt the first game back, or it takes a little bit longer to get back into the lineup. All of a sudden, it's like that trade looks worse and worse by the week.
I really wish that went through.
Yeah.
Same.
It is a really weird injury where there is, like, no timetable for it. Like,
why.
It's almost like every practice is almost like a game, and you're just holding your breath that, like, he stayed healthy through it, and it's weird. But
it feels like a lot of risk for Casey. I get the upside is there, and he has luxury, but if you're going to send that package to someone, like, do it for a player that's playing right now, and you're not worried about an injury.
Yeah. I was also telling him to see if he could counter with, like, Stafford, Demont Mooney, and that's probably so much. I don't know if Casey would have been like it's 3 versus 4, which made him feel better.
I think the deal breaker is getting rid of Stafford. Like, I don't think Casey wants to get rid of Stafford. He clearly doesn't trust Jameis. He just tries to shovel off guys in a trade that he's like, these are great guys, but, like, has no trust in them himself.
Exactly. Yeah, 100%. If we want to talk about even more trade rumors, so we just said that I traded for Alvin Kamara. Me and Sexy are in pretty serious talks about me giving him Kamara and splitting him for either James Conner or B-Rob plus Tank Dell. So one of his 2 running backs, not James Cook.
He's been trying to get off Dell.
I'm kind of down to buy into Tank Dell. I kind of think with no digs, like, Tank Dell could be more in the slot. I know he's, like, has sucked even though, he's kind of had the opportunities.
I feel like
but
that could be nice for you depending on how long BTJ is out.
That's the other reason. It's like I could really use another receiver if BTJ is not going to play.
He was limited, though, at practice yesterday.
Who do you prefer,
BTJ?
Connor or B-Rob?
So I was asking him, not like by a huge margin, and maybe it's just like a name thing, but James Conner. Like, to me, for some reason, Brian Robinson holds like this.
Definitely got a taint to his name.
Yeah, I don't know why. I think it's maybe just a boring name. I was trying to look into it.
Can you go to his game log? I feel like he scores or puts up I feel like he's pretty consistent. No,
he's like I think I would take B-Rob over James Conner, to be honest.
Really? For some reason, in my mind, if you're like who had the 2 touchdown game, it's like instantly James Conner to me. Like, I feel like James Conner has that better ceiling.
The Cardinals' offense is just kind of weird this year.
They're weird. I trust Washington's offense a little bit more. And B-Rob, I mean, they both they're like the same fucking.
Whose playoff schedule is better? Do you know?
So the reason why Sexy doesn't want to give me James Conner is because he's saying James Conner's cupcake playoff schedule.
So he wouldn't do Connor and Tank.
No, I offered for Connor. He countered with B-Rob.
I think both of those are really good deals for him. I think they work for both of your teams. Like, but I honestly, for him, I don't think like swapping from B-Rob to Connor should be a deal breaker for him. Honestly, like I don't think so. I don't think it's like so much better.
Also, like, Kamara's got a really good playoff schedule too.
Yeah.
He's currently playing the fucking Panthers. Like, down the stretch, he plays the Rams, plays the Giants, plays the Commanders or something. But, like,
you should get that done.
You think so?
Give Casey a fucking Kamara hammer.
I mean, I have to.
We just keep tossing Kamara around to see which Pookie Bear gets Kamara.
We could
this
throw
week.
just 25 points on.
Well, dude, that's the other.
We have a power up.
Yeah, I mean, I'll get to it in my matchup, but Tank Dell plays tonight, so we kind of gotta.
You gotta
out.
hurry up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't get it done before this game, I feel like it's not going to get done. His values, he's either cooked or like goated after this game. I feel like.
So funny enough, I kind of think Tank
gotta be good.
I don't think Tank is gonna have that great of a game against the Jets, which also kind of makes me want to go back to Sexy next week. But I think it's when Nico's in there and Tank's in the slot.
I mean, it's gonna be last year. They'll be back.
Right. I also think Tank fucking broke his leg last year. Like, I think,
When's he getting over it?
I don't know, Tony Pollard got over it like halfway through the season or something, right?
Got shot too, didn't
He
he?
got shot. He broke his leg. Like, give the
You're
man
gonna
some
trade.
time.
You're gonna trade for 2 guys that got shot. B-Rob and Tank Dell.
Yo. And I got
And
Ricky
Ricky
P
P.
on my bench.
Damn, that's a hard squad.
Dude, I might have to just do it for
Gotta
the
change your
brand.
team name.
Yeah, Casey's matchups are fucking pristine. Got
Yeah.
B-Rob against or Bijan against Dallas, Kenneth Walker Rams,
I'm
Jefferson
so-
Colts.
Taysom
I'm
Hill's
so
so
mad. Dude, I'm
scoring.
so mad he got
Oh, yeah.
Taysom Hill for free.
Oh, I didn't even look at that. Was there any good pickups on the wire this week or this
Nah,
morning?
I mean, I picked up Malik Willis
So
just in case.
scoring.
But, dude, that's what I'm like. This is going to be the week Taysom Hill has a passing touchdown, a rushing touchdown, a punt return touchdown.
That's what's gonna happen. You're gonna give Kamara to Sexy. Kamara's not gonna score any touchdowns, and
It's
they're all
all
going
gonna
to
be
fucking
Taysom Hill.
Taysom. Yeah, that's how Casey's season is gone.
Sorry, going back on this trade. I think another reason I prefer James Conner is I could just pick up Trey Benson as a handcuff. Meanwhile, B-Rob feels like he loses passing work to Eckler.
I didn't want to say it out loud, but Trey Benson feels like the one dude that shouldn't be on the wire right now. He's like the one
be?
shouldn't be.
Oh, shouldn't.
He's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the one handcuff running back where like if the starter gets hurt, he's the clear number 1 waiver
I
wire.
think so. Because Amari DeMarcado
Yeah,
is
he'll-
also getting work.
Sure, he will. He'll definitely be involved, but I still think like Benson will be a 15 carry guy off the rip. Like I don't know that he'll be a pass catcher, but like he'll still want the starter there. Where I don't know how many dudes go down at this point where the next dude up is actually available on the waiver
Nah,
wire.
he should definitely like be rostered for sure.
Yeah.
I guess like even without injury, again, it's just Eckler gets a lot of pass catching work, which I
Sure,
guess is why Connor in my mind feels like he has better upside.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But now that Sexy's like he's got the cupcake matchup too, I'm like, I want that. I want that.
I think both are good for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they're both fun.
Kamara again. Anyway, all right, let's pick winners and we'll move on to my matchup and we'll get into Kamara.
I've got.
I'm gonna
If you guys make the
go-
trade, I might lean Sexy, but for now I'm going Casey because the matchups for every one of his players is ridiculous.
Although Casey dropped Rashad Bateman, has yet to win a game without Rashad. I'm
Who
going
do you pick
Sexy.
him up for? Or who do you pick up?
Taysom.
Yeah, you needed Taysom Hill. He's got a deep bench too. You
I'm
guys think of what do you think of Demario
Those
Douglas?
benches are fucking sick.
Is Demario Douglas like you still believe in him?
If Drake May's under center, I think he'll play well. Yeah.
Like, do you think I counter Sexy being like, okay, I'll take B-Rob instead of Connor, but also throw in Douglas?
You
And
might
give him
do that.
back your trash of.
Hmm?
Do you like? Are you gonna give
You
him
can give him
another
like
wide
Christian
receiver?
Watson or something, or you just
I'd
saying
have to
straight up?
drop like him or Ricky P, or I'd probably drop Watson.
I mean, I think it's worth going back to him for
Yeah.
that.
Or just all your fab.
The move is to be like, I'll accept the trade.
compromise.
I'll accept the trade right now if we go B-Rob, but you throw Pop in there.
Yeah.
If you give him like the timer on it, it usually I feel like that pushes the deal through.
All right.
You
All
wanna
right. So
text
you guys are
him on
going
the show?
Casey. I'm going Sexy. Let's just skip to my matchup real quick.
He
Speaking
must,
about
he must know the Kamara trade's getting done.
who?
If you're picking Sexy, you must know he's got Alvin coming. So
Nah, it's just there's no Rashad Bateman. So,
For sure.
yeah. So as you can see, I currently do not have a wide receiver 3 in my lineup because BTJ could be out, was practicing in a limited fashion. I'm stashing Thielen on the IR.
tough bye week for you.
Yeah, Niners. Only the Niners and Steelers are on bye, which really fucks me. But I don't hate playing C-Watt as long as Jordan Love's in there. Like, obviously his floor is 0, but he could also score a long touchdown. Kind of feels like a richer man, Alec Pierce or something, maybe.
Yeah, or just Alec Pierce.
Or just Alec. No, that's fair. That's fair.
You caught Gut on a good week, I feel like too, kind of, because
He won't have
Tracy's in the
Tracy.
concussion protocol.
Deontay Johnson just got
Deontay
traded,
Johnson
probably.
won't be playing. DK Metcalf, I feel like, is definitely 50-50 also this week.
For sure. For sure.
So, like, if he's down DK also, he's...
Although, without Tracy, it made him put Jacoby Myers in his lineup, and I don't hate that play.
No, not against Cincy.
Like,
I mean, he was nice last week.
Right. Like, Tracy is obvious. Like, if Tracy was playing, like, he'd obviously be the preferred flex, but I don't think it's, like, that much of a downgrade.
No, his team is still not bad, even with all those spots.
T-Law without BTJ or Kirk, though,
That could be messy.
that could be 7 points.
There's definitely a floor there.
So you're going double tight end?
I don't think so. Even without the trade, I
You
think I'm
gotta
going to put
make
Laporta as the tight end, and then I'd probably sit Henry for C-Watt or Thielen. Like, one of those will be my wide receiver 3, and I think that the other one will probably be the flex. Although, if Drake May's playing, like, I don't hate the double tight end strategy with Henry in
Or
there.
Scoochie, Pop Douglas.
Dude, I could also get Scooch. That's true. Here's the thing, though. If, like, Brian Thomas is going to play, he would just be my wide receiver 3, and then my flex could be Thielen or Watson.
How are you pulling together wins? It makes
We
no
take
sense.
this shit week by week. I mean, I'm all in on the Saints this week. Carr, Olave,
Playing
Kamara.
Panthers, so it works.
That's what I mean. It also would feel like really good if Gut has to see his Panthers get smacked by the Saints, and I have all of them on my fantasy team.
Week 1 was crazy when they put up 40.
Yeah.
Like so long ago.
That was
Jordan Love questionable.
Jordan Love had positive signs today, which is fine.
Yeah.
I mean,
ETN will be back. ESPN
Yeah.
projections are out of control sometimes. I get ETN's back, but 7.6. Grow up.
yes. So is Tank Bigsby playable?
On your team, yeah.
I mean,
He
sure,
has
but
to
like,
play. Yeah,
normal.
I think he's like normally playable.
You need that trade for some depth.
I mean, this week for
Yeah.
sure. But like
Well,
next
that's
week,
how you play.
but I do try to balance a little bit after this week.
Yeah.
All right. So assuming no trade goes through, you guys riding with Gut?
Who's he plugging in if DK's out, Tyrone Tracy's out?
It would be Jacoby Myers and
Have to
then
start
probably
Deontay.
Parker Washington.
He's got Deontay.
Deontay's right.
I
I
think
just
he
see the projection.
probably could. I guess you would play Deontay.
I feel like every wide receiver that's been traded suited up.
yeah.
That's fair.
I don't know
Yeah.
if anyone is. Oh, Amari was good in his debut.
Amari was fine because he had a touchdown, but like
Yeah,
there was no
fucking
volume there.
Bad.
I'm gonna take Gut.
Yeah. Nah, probably. You probably right on that one.
I could definitely see T-Law sucking.
Yeah, but if Higgins is out, Burrow and Chase again are gonna be just.
I mean, do you think that has any effect on Joe Burrow's value? T. Higgins is out.
No, I guess, but Chase, I feel like is guaranteed like 13 targets. Then.
I forgot he had Chase for a second.
Yeah,
That's
I mean
tough.
it's definitely not good for Burrow, but it's really good for Chase.
Yeah.
I think I like your team if you make the trade, but I can't pick it. Especially seeing 2 tight ends and an empty wide receiver 3. It's just really hard to envision.
It is, yeah.
So imagine Kamara is B-Rob, and then there's Tank Dell playing tonight.
And Scoochie.
Possibly.
Yeah, no, I still take Gut.
See, I
Scoochie
guess
or Hunter Henry's kind of tough. That's what it kind
little
of comes
bit.
down to for you.
You're
I
gonna make
guess-
that trade, and then Drake May's not gonna play.
Right. I mean, at that point.
What's
it'd
he
be
just
fine.
got? A concussion?
Yeah. I think I might just be really high on Kamara because based off like what everybody in the office was saying and like some of the comments, it feels like nobody else really thinks Kamara can finish as like a top 6 running back or something.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I
I mean
disagree
the
with
general
that, too.
public's definitely cones for that.
I think they're more so like paying attention to the Saints' offense and not what Kamara is actually doing.
Most
Because
people
when we
like
made the
don't
trade-
pay attention to other players if they don't own them.
That's fair.
They just go off of what they think of them when they watch on Sunday.
Like when we made the trade, I threw out the question because Casey was like, you just gave up the wide receiver 1. And I don't think I think that's like kind of where Nico is, like probably wide receiver 1 through 3. But I think
Yeah, I
Kamara
think-
most likely is running back like 5 through 10, which maybe even be generous. But I also kind of think he has the upside to be a top 5 running back.
Yeah, I also think Nico, like, he could easily still be wide receiver 7 and be a phenomenal trade, like, or a
Agreed.
player, but, like, everyone just guarantee him as wide receiver 1's a little steep.
Me too, because like Chase is playing really well, Jefferson's playing well,
Yeah.
Tyreek has Tua back now, like CeeDee Lamb exploded last game. There's
Like,
a world
no
where
digs could hurt the offense a little bit.
Maybe.
you won that shit, brother.
I'm just saying going off of like Kamara's upside, where do you see Kamara like rest of the season? RB what?
I have him closer to 10 than 1.
Yeah, he's in the like 6 to 8 range for me probably.
I'd probably go a little lower, probably like 8 to 11.
And then like B-Rob or Connor, like RB 15 through 20.
I would go higher than that. I would say in the 12 to 15 range.
Is that rich for you?
There's not that many
It's hard
good
to
running backs,
envision,
honestly.
but
'Cause I feel like 12 to 15.
I'm
15
thinking
to 20. You're starting to
15.
think like Dobbins and Stevenson, and I'm like, I don't want those dudes over Connor or B-Rob. I don't think.
I don't know. I think I could come up with like 13, 14 guys I'd put ahead. It'd be close.
And he's a 15. It's right in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. I think he's in the 15 to 18 and then 12 to 15. It's so close.
I think I value Kamara a lot more than like B-Rob or Connor, but I really kind of want to buy into Tank Dell.
I mean, I think it's a gamble, but like it pays off. Well worth
You also
the risk.
just like you're a fan of that offense. I feel like that kind of fits what you want to just naturally root for. Also,
Yeah. It hasn't like looked great this year, but
maybe
I don't know. it's
Diggs
just-
is just messing shit up. Now they're about to
Dude,
cook.
maybe trim the fat out of
All
that
needed
team.
was Nico and Diggs to get hurt for them to be good.
All right, next matchup here, we got Jack versus Adam. Jack catching Adam on a really good week with no trade. We talked about his squad a little bit. Right now, he's starting Will Levis against the Pats, Gardner Minshew against Cincinnati. Yeah, I mean, Jack's probably just going to wipe this team, huh? I guess Jack's team ain't that strong, but
I get so. I mean, Gabe Davis could definitely score given
Yeah.
double Raiders. That's insane.
Right,
That
like,
hurts.
If Adam makes his team, C-Mac's not even in the lineup.
Oh, for sure.
everything's
Add
in
4
addition.
players in, yeah.
Adding Monty and Jameis.
Dean on there. Yeah, like
Adding Monty instead of Madison. Chuba Hubbard's been so nice, but like
He's on a if you look at his numbers, he's on a decline.
that's what I was gonna say. It's like he's been so reliable and such a good piece for you, but like it just feels like he has pieces that are like expiring.
Jack's got a top 3 tight end.
yeah, I mean the double quarterbacks are now starting to work out for him, but it just feels like every player on his lineup
But even with
has such a low floor on a weekly basis.
like even with the double quarterbacks, I still don't look at his lineup and I'm like,
no, his lineup isn't good.
it's like he has really soft, warm bread, but the meat in the middle is just trash.
Yeah, it's low quality meat.
Yeah.
I feel like every player in his lineup has had at least like 2 or 3 games of 2 or 3 points.
Yeah.
Like the weekly floor is bad for those dudes.
Terry's been nice.
Terry's been super good.
Terry's him.
Yeah,
I was a doubter. Jack's got some running back depth days.
I guess.
I mean,
It's
I don't know. Like,
He's got RB3s for days.
That's what I mean.
like I wouldn't feel good about putting Mostert in my lineup at all.
Like in an absolute emergency, yeah, Mostert and Eckler feel good. I should probably trade for one of them, to be honest.
There's so many RB3s. I'm leaning Jack, I guess. I'm banking on Will Levis and Gardner Minshew. I can't.
I can't do it either.
it's an ugly fucking matchup. Yeah.
Gabe Davis. Madison's actually been pretty dope.
I can see
Not
the
last week.
Javante do nothing versus Baltimore, though. 12.5 feels generous. They're run D.
I'm gonna go Jack.
Are his running backs going to combine for 11 points?
No.
Williams and Hubbard.
The Saints' defense is terrible.
Week 1, though, you guys, Week 1 Saints.
Yeah.
They're a different team.
They forgot how to tackle along the way.
Yeah, they don't put up points anymore. Chase
They
Brown.
have 2 wins.
The Saints.
That it? They really started 2-0 and haven't won again.
David Njoku's actually a stud.
Yeah, he's been really good with Jameis.
I'm just going Jack. Josh Allen and Jalen versus Gardner and Will Levis.
Yeah, there's just bad vibes.
That's
Jalen
enough.
versus
Adam's team.
Jacksonville. Yeah.
That's just enough.
Yeah. If he doesn't make the trade, then yeah, Jack.
All right.
Joe's projected to.
Yeah.
Joe's projected for 140.
Final matchup, we got
Sheesh.
Joe versus JL, and this is kind of what I was talking about. Like,
Cup and Tyreek kind of gas.
yeah, we talked about Adam getting rid of CMC and just injecting immediate players. Like that's what Joe did with Debo and Jamison Williams. So those guys were not going to contribute to his lineup this week. DeAndre Swift instantly becomes, I guess, his RB1, maybe. Kareem Hunt kind of up
been
there
just
with
as
him.
good, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, you feel good
this
about
is actually
Stroud.
a phenomenal game.
Yeah,
If Tracy's out too,
I think
Yeah.
Tracy is trending towards that way.
I think so too. Yeah, Joe's lineup actually looks really good.
this looks great.
This is what I'm saying. Like Joe's not shooing for last place at all.
Kind of. The
JL's
tough
a
part is,
juggernaut.
yeah, that and Nate, who's 1 win above. Like his team is also looking better. Jack is 1 win above, and his team is also looking better.
Everyone's
like,
looking good.
yeah.
Every team is just so
This
good.
league has no holes.
Yeah.
Except Adam.
Adam
Adam,
the
Adam.
only
He's on
hole.
the fucking
Yeah.
plummet.
Yeah, Joe's team looks good.
I really like his squad.
Stroud, he hasn't really done much. I don't know that he'll do much against the Jets.
I still think Baker's got to come down a little.
KC, this could definitely be that
Right.
game for him.
Yeah.
Tyreek at Buffalo. I feel like Tua always plays terribly at Buffalo.
Yeah, just versus Buffalo. I feel like it's. Yo, is Ladd gonna.
Is he like him now? Is he going to pop off? Is he the new Cooper Cup?
Awesome.
These are 2 really strong teams, at least this week.
Yeah.
Devontae's got to have a day.
Dude, what does Deontay Johnson do to Zay Flowers? Is that guy cooked now? Or do you think it actually helps him?
I wouldn't say cooked. I don't think it could help.
Yeah, I'm not like overly concerned about Zay. I still think he's the guy there. I think this hurts Deontay a lot, obviously, relative to what he was doing in Carolina.
Yeah, Andy Dalton, man.
Yeah, that was like peak. Those like 3 weeks were magical for Deontay.
Yeah.
Does he has ETN, right? Worth going over Bucky?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. What has Wandell
Oh,
done?
Wandell's still doing the same thing. It's like,
I feel like he's been horrible for like a month now. No.
He hasn't killed you.
Yeah. Okay. 8,
he's a
10.
like perfect bench guy.
Yeah.
Great bench guy.
Wide receiver
I
20
mean,
on
Washington,
the year.
Carolina,
Yeah.
though, these are probably the games you play him in.
Yeah.
Damn. All right, Joe.
I'm gonna go Joe. I think he's gonna have a week.
Tyreek projected 18 does feel.
It feels high, but like you can never count out Tyreek to have a game like that.
Yeah, getting Singletary into his flex is huge if Tracy's out. Also, I guess Jordan Love would matter a lot for Dobbs. I think I'm still going to go with JL, though.
Pick Joe out of love.
It doesn't help him.
I think there's some parts about JL's team that I don't feel great about. Like I still don't feel good about Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
Travis Kelce, I didn't feel good about up until like tight end week.
Crazy that you could just pick up Kate Otten off the wire and him being projected for like 1 fewer Kelsey.
Dude,
It's a great pickup for
fucking insane.
But I think Baker and Bucky could have bad days, which would also mean Cade has a bad day.
Well, I could kind of see Baker and Bucky having bad days and Kate Otten still having a good one. Like, Kate Otten just finds
Definitely
the end zone.
possible, but
Bucky also popped up with a Q today.
He's been dealing with a toe injury for a while. Bucky's like just
yeah, he's been nice.
yeah, he's just good every game. He gets it done one way or another.
I was trying to give JL Tank Bigsby for Bucky. That way he could have both.
I don't think he even wants ETN.
I feel like ETN has actually been like a 0. I actually don't know if I would.
It's been, I mean, outside of the one game he left early, like, hasn't been bad.
God, imagine starting him that week.
But that just feels like we're just gonna feed him in the beginning of the year, and he just like Tank's just been better. I don't see
also a
it
max
trending,
of 13 attempts isn't like.
Right, I don't see him trending back up to like the beginning of the year again.
This stat line is like, we are trying to make you a feature back.
Yeah.
Like, we are squeezing everything out of you right now, and you're getting like 12 points a game.
Yeah, he's bad.
What sucks though is that I don't feel good about starting Tank because of ETN. Like, none of them are gonna be good fantasy wise.
Dobbs been kind of nice lately, no?
That's been so good, yeah.
Amazing. Actually, might be the best Packer receiver.
Actually.
Yeah, I actually just straight up think he probably
Dude,
is.
he fucking is.
It's been like 2 years in a row. He just keeps being this best receiver. Look at that. Look at this split. Like, he misses the one game, and then he's just a go.
Yeah. But also, like,
Him
it's
pouting
crazy.
really
Yeah,
worked.
dude. Like, in the first month,
He wants that pay.
he was
mean,
not being used, and he was like, you guys have to use me more. And they were like, okay. now
Dobbs
he's a
going to
stud.
want Brandon Ayuk money next.
For real.
Deserves it.
Dude, he makes amazing grabs on the sideline.
He's just like
really
so
good.
He has no aesthetic. He's got no aura.
No aura.
He's just auraless. That's what like people don't like
Some
about
of the
him.
best, but yet auraless player out there.
Zero aura.
He's like the new Chris Godwin prior to this year.
New cone.
Yeah, he kind of is the new Cone. But like, Chris Godwin was always kind of good, even though we called
He
him a
was,
Cone.
yeah.
Yeah, but like Godwin.
He was so good this year. He was
Yeah.
so good before he got hurt.
Yeah, Godwin was always like he like killed the combine. Like we always knew he was like super athletic, got like good draft capital. Dobbs just always felt like eventually the other shoe was gonna drop with him, but he's just been good every year.
Yeah. But Godwin's going to be one of those dudes that, like, you know, you talk to your kids or nephews about. It's like, you have no idea how good Chris Godwin was.
Yeah,
They're going to be like, who's that?
yeah.
All right. That's all we got. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. We'll be back next week for some more Idiot League Mates.